I don't know if you saw this clip.
I have not.
Oh, well, we've got to watch it.
I haven't been on the latest and greatest of Jordan Peterson. I haven't really been following him. I feel like I should probably get back to it, but...
What do you feel like it's kind of beating a dead horse a little bit? Because I feel like he's just gotten so psycho. It's like anytime I go on his Twitter feed, anytime I open his latest video, it's like the most psychotic fucking word salad hate shit. It's just nonstop. Well, watch this. You tell me what you think. Just show... Give me the timestamp.
I'm going to the yesterday's doc to pull it. Oh, I think Cam got it.
Yeah, you need a little context before we get into this argument.
I love Sam.
Yeah, he's the best. I gotta have him on the show. Maybe we can have him on together.
Yeah, we should. Like I said, he's my real uncle, not Jank. Jank is my fake uncle.
Sam Cedar is a lying coward.
Which is the one that took you to Hooters?
Not Sam. He would never do such a thing.
Got it.
The sexual revolution was the transformation of the idea that rape was a property crime, let's say, into a crime against the woman herself. And I would say, look, I have plenty of sympathy for that perspective. And I think it's fundamentally true. But I'm going to push back because, all this is all very complicated.
Well, no, it's not.
It isn't obvious to me.
Stop. That he did not just say rape used to be treated like a property crime, and while I understand that like women are human beings, I'm still gonna do the devil's advocate thing here and act like it would be better if rape was a property crime. That is
did that.
That's insanity.
We were goofing on this and we were going so deep we had to exit it, but
that's insane.
Yeah, he's like,
fuck.
Here's a hypothetical. I'm gonna push back a little bit. Most people say the Holocaust was a terrible tragedy. I want to push back on that a little bit. The Jews being gone it could possibly benefit its society.
Yeah, no, he's like, you made them work harder. Actually, that's why they're successful now.
Right. It lit a fire under their ass.
Who had a good idea then, huh? Adolf Hitler. That's right.
You seen the Jews before the Holocaust? Not that impressive, bucko. You light a fire under their ass, get them moving.
The neoliberal Marxists don't want me saying the truth.
No.
Yeah, it's awesome. Most people think the AIDS epidemic was a tragedy, but I want to push back on that a little bit.
A DILF?
Ever since AIDS was introduced, there's been less weather catastrophes. God is happy.
Yeah, no, he's just like, well, guess what? Preparation H. I mean, there's so many wonderful advances in medication that couldn't have come.
You're dressing up in lingerie before your mirror at home, tucking your dick between your legs, imagining you have a vagina.
That's actually
for sexual
real.
kick.
That's not.
There's nothing sexual about that.
Yeah, that one.
Right.
That's not even like a voice generator.
Liars.
That shit's all real, brother.
Yo, why is he so horny though?
I know. He's obsessed.
He's like, bro, he really needs to lay off the meat. You know what I mean? He Jordan Peterson, the oldest man to try NoFap, maybe. He's doing semen.
Bro, that man has no libido. The man eats only meat. His blood probably like crawls through his veins at this point.
He fantasized about like someone that maybe is coming to terms with their like gender in the weirdest way possible. Like you thought about it too much, man. This is what I talk about. This is why I say like, it's a mental illness. Like having turf brain, okay, trans exclusionary radical feminist, which by the way, these guys aren't feminists, but neither are turfs anyway, whatever. Like, but being transphobic is like unironically a mental illness because like you think about trans people. You think about trans people way more than fucking trans people do, man.
Yeah.
You're at the cutting edge of whatever the fuck's going on in the trans universe.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Daily Wire, I feel like 75% of their content of the past few months is like solely committed to trying to get trans people to kill themselves, essentially. Yeah, let's continue.
That offers women enough defense. And so the counter argument might be if untrammeled sexual access to a young woman is a crime, in order for that to be recognized as a crime properly, it has to be viewed as something that will bring the males on her side to her defense in principle.
Right.
Now, maybe not, right? Because you could say, well, maybe we could set up a society where merely, quote, transgressing the rights of a woman to say no is sufficient. But it's not obvious to me that that's sufficient.
Wait,
like maybe sufficient means.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
lot. It's a lot.
so he's trying to, he's just like trying to take the coward's way out here on arguing that like rape laws were better when women were, you know, treated as property, because like at least for guys like me who don't actually value women as human beings, like at least it made sense, you know, like from a capital point of view, that's my property. That's property damage. You have violated the non-aggression principle, sir. Like he can't see. He's literally trying to fucking justify that like it made men understand. It made men who do not see women as human beings justify and understand like and see as a crime the violation of consent, which inherently is incredibly misogynistic, because it's literally like women were better off as property in the eyes of men.
They were
because
better
men
protected.
men would rather see women as property and then therefore violate another man
Right.
by harming their woman. Okay.
Yeah.
And they see that as a crime rather than like violating a woman on her own.
Yeah, to be honest, that's basically it. You got the heart of it. So Sam made a clip responding, said Jordan Peterson has some disturbing ideas about consent. Jordan Peterson quote tweeted, "Here's another reason to trust me. The majority report thinks I'm wrong again. I was suggesting, as anyone with any sense would conclude, that female objection to unwanted sex, correct in all regards, may still have to be bolstered by male force, friends, fathers, and brothers, so that sufficient protection can be obtained."
The funniest part about this is that like he's not wrong, okay? But he's still wrong in the sense that like it's not just about men protecting women by force, okay? It's also like, yeah, it has to be bolstered by male force, by men telling other men not to fucking do dumb shit and not to do like weird, creepy, sex pest shit. You know what I mean? But he's not saying that. He's saying that like women cannot defend themselves and therefore men need to be defending them with muscle and mass.
The thing that he's excluding here is he literally starts this conversation by saying, I want to push back on the idea that women aren't property. Like, okay, let's start from there. That's a good starting point. Sam says, the problem, doctor, is that you said this in the context of pushing back on the advantage of women no longer being property. That's what I said.
Yeah. Have it your way. I said whatever you think I said. I'm pro-rape, bigoted, misogynist, racist. Whatever trope turns you on.
Dude.
Why is this sexual? This is not sexual, Jordan. What the fuck? Dude,
so nuts.
What the fuck? I was trying to think through what we might have lost as a liberal individualist society in protecting women, protecting them against rape, against. Grow up, Sam Cedar. It's far past time. Capiche?
I love the capiche.
Capiche?
Yeah,
It's like he comes out with this crazy capiche. Is he Italian?
The funniest part about this is that this is the reason why Jordan Peterson will never be as successful as Andrew Tate. Because Andrew Tate doesn't give a fuck about trying to intellectualize his argument or his misogyny. He does not care about coming across as like a liberal.
Bro,
whereas Jordan Peterson, as a college professor, needs to like dance around in these circles, and therefore like he wants the admiration of like what he values is like smart people. So he will never reach the successes that Andrew Tate.
I hate to break it to you, but Jordan Peterson is very, 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 very successul.
Oh no, I
wouldn't even put Andrew way above him. You know?
No, I'm saying popularity amongst young men. Not
know,
like.
man. I think
of course, he's very successful. He's an oil lobbyist now. Like when you hit the oil lobbyist circuit, like you're caked. You're fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Sam says no need to debate with either of us what either of us said. It's on video. The idea that protection for women against rape have been a net loss as a function of them no longer being property of men is, in the most charitable light, ahistorical.
True. That's the other part of this conversation. It's not like, what, you think women weren't subject to violent crimes when they did not have autonomy or civil liberties? What are you, fucking insane? It was infinitely worse. It was just overlooked because it was the normal thing that happens.
This idea
in
of rape probably was barely.
You can
grasped.
extend this not just to women, but to black people, which Jordan Peterson, as someone who wants to fancy himself as a liberal, would most likely have a hard time coming to terms with. That's why that analogy would fail. If you were saying like, oh, do you think black people are better protected when they were slaves? No, then shut the fuck up.
They were, because they were property. They were taken better care of.
That's insane.
Have you seen how they take care of themselves?
Yeah, but like he would never say that. He would never say that because that is like.
I want to push back on abolitionists. The Civil War was possibly a mistake. I want to push back a little bit on that.
Yeah, he would never say that though, and he has been owned by even fucking Jim Jeffries, right? Like, or was it Jim? Jeffries, the Australian guy.
Yeah. So I responded debate Sam Cedar, and he actually responded to me, to my surprise. He said, H3, there was a time when I would have taken your suggestions seriously, but your behavior in relation to me has been worse than Mr. Cedar's, and even more inexplicable. I said, Jordan, as old friends, I think we should discuss it in person anytime on my show or yours. Even a Zoom call in would be terrific. It would be a great and productive conversation. Please consider it. And he said, thank you for the offer. I will consider it.
Do you think he will, or is he just saying that?
I DM'd him. I said, hey, come on the show. We actually have his contact email still. I bet it's the same email.